I was attending the DepEd hearing, and Secretary Mark advised my office that you still had a meeting with Secretary Dominguez, correct? Yes. I guess all of you know the rules of our hearing, no? No bottled water will be served. Everybody is enjoined to bring their own jugs. But there's water here for everybody. I will not water starve our DPWH family. And since we have session at 3 o'clock, we cannot have simultaneous session and hearings. We will have to have a second hearing, and that would be scheduled on Monday, September 25 at... Ano mo gusto mo? As 8 na lang para maaga eh. Kaya ba niyo? 8 o'clock on September 25 so that we can finish the budget hopefully on the second hearing. That's okay with you, Mark?
I think on the 25th we have a roadshow Japan and China. That's the first day.
Well, then in that case,
perhaps we can...
we'll reschedule that. But definitely we can't finish it unless you want to stay and wait for me to return after session, which I did with the OTR, and we can continue this hearing at 5:30 or 6 o'clock today. When is your roadshow?
It's on the 12th. If we can come back, I think we can come back later, if that's convenient for the senator, for the chairwoman.
How long is your roadshow? 25 till?
We'll be going to Japan and China, and from 25 to 20. It's actually 25 to 30, I believe. 25 to 30. To 30. Yeah. We'll be willing to wait, Senator, for you.
So this is what I did with the OTR. Well, DepEd, so in that case, we'll do DepEd at 9 a.m. on Monday, and we will continue with the hanggang sawa mamaya.
Okay.
Diba? Since we're already very full. Hanggang kaya. So I'll just ask the majority to suspend the rules if allowed, so we will hold simultaneous session and hearing, although I was not allowed last week, and the agency had to wait for the suspension or adjournment of our session. Yeah, thanks. We welcome Secretary Mark Villar and the DPWH family. Could we request the COMSEC to read into the record the presence of everyone here?
Good afternoon, Madam Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. The Senate Committee on Finance would like to acknowledge the presence of its distinguished guests, namely Secretary Mark Villar, Undersecretary Rafael Yabut, Undersecretary Raul Asis, Undersecretary Maria Catalina Cabral, Undersecretary Ardeliza Medanilia, Undersecretary Emil Sadain, Undersecretary Dima Sugilon, Undersecretary Karen Jimeno, Assistant Secretary Eugenio Pipo Jr., Assistant Secretary Roberto Bernardo, Assistant Secretary Gilberto Reyes, Administrator Jackie Lapus, Undersecretary Alain Pasqua, Mr. Ronald Abdico. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we proceed with your budget, may we put the slide of what we just finished in DepEd? Let's start with the budget for classrooms for the school building program, because this is where we see supposed convergence between the Department of Education, and a large chunk of their budget's underspending is due to the construction or non-construction of the classrooms. It was nagsalita kanina. And let me just read what I did earlier. Undersecretary, I can't see the name. Pasqua. Kayo po yung kanina, no? Okay. Again, correct me with the figures. In 2006, the continuing appropriations for 2016 for the construction of classrooms is 11 billion. Is that what you said, Undersecretary Dimas? Pakigamit po ng mikropono.
Nagkamali yung figure kanina sa ma'am.
Mali. O, sige po. Pakicorrect po nyo.
Ang allotment na received under the continuing is 20 billion. 824 million. Ang na-obligate po is 20 billion 628, a balance of 196 million na lang po.
Okay, just so that Secretary Mark knows, because earlier we were looking at the budget of DepEd, and according to Undersecretary Dimas, there was an 11 billion construction of classrooms unspent and continuing appropriations for 2016, which translated to how many classrooms did you say? 7,000 classrooms. So I added up 7,000 to the 15,000 classrooms. If I correct, remaining continuing appropriations for the school building program is
196.
196, translating to how many classrooms? We'll try to compute it while we recognize
Pero yung, Your Honor,
Senator Cynthia Villar. So, 196 million ang continuing appropriations ng 2016. Okay. Now, we're here in 2017. There's a 76 billion classroom expenditure that should be finished within 3 months. So that's my question to DepEd and Secretary Mark, because for the 2018 budget proposal, the NEP of DepEd, they have 43,000 classrooms, or the 84,000 that still needs to be built. And it would be difficult to grant that if even the 2016 has not been finished and the 76 billion has not been obligated. So I therefore ask Secretary Mark, people always blame DepEd, then DepEd would blame DPWH. So I said it's best that the USEC in charge of school building and the implementers of the school building fund are here and talk so that we will know how much of DepEd's school building funds we really actually need to give. Yeah, okay.
Yes. If I can just share, maybe I can. I'm not sure exactly what was discussed earlier today, but well, I find this blame game it's kind of productive. But the story is that in 2016, and I'm not sure if they told me this. I'm not sure. I hope I'm not being repetitive, Senator. But in 2016, when we came in, there was there really was a problem with implementation because of the fact that a lot of these projects were not given the proper analysis before they were awarded. So in other words, a lot of these projects were either limited in their funding, the program, the scope of works were incorrect. So we found ourselves with a lot of, we had found ourselves with implementation in 2016 of about 30%. This was due for various factors. Soil testing is not included. So when you did the program of works for the buildings, it was only later found out after the soil testing, after the contract was awarded, that which is why we had to release later this year a supplementary budget to finish these school buildings. So that was the initial cause. The system was such that we were able to do a lot of the assumptions that were given when they were bid out wrong. So therefore, we found ourselves with a 30% accomplishment rate, which is very poor, admittedly. Now this year, in order to correct that, we decided to say so on that we have education here that outline the specific details about the implemented school project. In the past, I think, I'm not sure, maybe later, fixed price, not a one-fits-all arrangement, because certain schools, the soil might be soft, you have to build a strong wall, you have to put piles, it's much more expensive, so you cannot put a single price, which is what happened before. In March, we were able to, our strategy for this year, basically, is to complete all the poorly bid. So, that's why there's some coordinating in order to would be implementable, we could complete. We wanted to avoid this situation where we start a building only to later find out that it wouldn't be finished. So we created a new timeline. We're targeting to finish 60% of our DepEd. So we can furnish you a timeline. I think Secretary Sugulon is happy with the time. This is the timeline that we need in order to have a 100% implementation next year.
That's why I brought DepEd here. May I know, Undersecretary, ito pong inyong 76 billion total allocation million procedures and doing soil testing, if we the correction of that it 96 million. So you actually have 96 plus around 196 at 78, more or less 78. The question: the Department of Public Works be able to comply with the construction of all the 50,141 classrooms and use the funds till January, because till December, because that answer will determine whether we will actually give DepEd what is in their NEP, whether you would have the absorptive capacity to implement the funds they're asking for the construction of 42,000 classrooms for 2018.
Yeah, when we speak about we're confident that we obligate all these school building projects by next year. By this year, and by the 2018 budget requirements, as long as the timeline that we just to make everything clear, which is why I precisely submitted this timeline, so that if they gave us the minimum of works, and if all of these school buildings have been vetted out, and we know exactly where we're going to put them, and we know the conditions that are promulgated by next year.
October 15 timeline. Is that the timeline that the other way around? So what I hear now from the DPWH is that you are supposed to give them the requirements so that they can bid it out. Obviously, how can they bid out something to know which land is available? So my question to DepEd is, to be able to 96 million plus the 76 billion 16 and 17, do you already have all the requirements with DPWH?
Madam Chair, Your Honor, the 76 billion that is plus on the screen is about, we still have about 30 billion in DepEd that we're reviewing. So practically within the next 1 or 2 weeks, the 76 becomes already a 40 billion remaining fund. And we have scheduled October 15 for all the program of works to be submitted to the DepEd, so that we could obligate all of the 46 billion that would remain.
So we're saying that by the time we will defend this in plenary, all the requirements to spend the remaining 196 million and the 76 billion would have been transmitted to DPWH, and DPWH would have all the information to be able to bid it out. Huh?
That's what we would like to happen, and that's why I don't want to pick the blame game for the DepEd secretaries. Very I admire the secretary very much. That's why I just want to keep it very simple. And this is what we need. If they submit it on time, then we can complete. But if it's not submitted on time, then we have to reevaluate our timeline. But we gave a specific timeline, all the milestones. Even today, even last meeting, we were saying, okay, we need this in order for the DBM to release it at this time and for us to implement. Very specific. So the only thing I can say is that if the timeline is that we have given is met, then we can implement it. And if we don't, then that's on us.
So clear. That's the reason why I brought the DepEd here, because that was one of the issues discussed in the ongoing hearing of DepEd. And 15 soon, 3 weeks from now, we recognize Senator Chis Escudero. Yes. That's clear. But you're welcome to stay on so that you can hear you're needed there. Kailangan po kayo doon. O sige. So we'll just know that October 15 deadline, ha? Yun po ang requirements. Senator Cheese.
I'll take advantage of Yusek Pasco's presence. I'm quite familiar with the situation with respect to the problem between DepEd and DPWH. And it's actually the pagdebatihan na namin ito ni Secretary Jockman, Secretary San Dominguez, tungkol din sa pera ng DepEd. October 15, you will obligate how much, sir?
October 15, sir, we will be submitting all our pending program reports to PPM so that they could release all the SARO.
How many classrooms are you supposed to build in 2017?
Something like that, 43,000 or 40,000.
Next year, how many?
Same amount, sir. We have the total shortage for 2018 is about 83,000. But the DBM has already approved only half of it. So we are, the budget for classroom construction for 2018 is about 43 billion, about 43,000 classrooms.
Who makes the program of work for the school building, sir?
Program report is being done by DPWH, sir.
So ano yung program of work na isasubmit po ninyo? So isasubmit kayo by October 15?
Yes, sir. That's basically what we are doing here is that first, the process that the DepEd prepares the list of the schools where the classrooms will be built, submitting this to DPWH for joint validation, and after the joint validation, DPWH will be finalizing the program of work, costing the same, and the final one is to DBM, release of our which is directly loaded.
Actually, Madam Chair, that's where the problem lies. Magsisimula sa DepEd, babalik sa DPWH, babalik uli sa DepEd, babalik na naman sa DPWH. In the end, both agencies seem to be finding it difficult. Matagal ng debate yan, Madam Chair, no, you're familiar with this for the past 2 years. And DepEd gets an ER, right? No percentage ko, di ba ng kata? How much?
No, sir. That's about half of what DPWH also gets from a total of about 0.5% of the total budget, sir. School building.
0.5 for what, sir, exactly?
The engineering administrative overhead, sir, is for evaluation, for monitoring of the project, sir.
Kaya, there's been a nagging issue, actually, DepEd at DPWH on this, but quite frankly, even the DepEd is not of engineers. Yeah, but for what? For school buildings?
Sir, for the
I'm sure the problem because di ba bawal na yung in consultation with the congressman ngayon? Di ba bawal na yan? Wala na yan, di ba? Bawal na, sa PDAC ruling, wala nang in consultation with the congressman yung list, di ba? They don't have to sign off.
Yes, sir. It's DepEd, sir, who finalizes the list, sir.
Exactly. Madam Chair, given the Supreme Court decision, congressmen no longer allowed to interfere with the implementation of the school building program, but there's a big advantage there, actually, but we have no choice. That's the Supreme Court decision. The advantage is congressmen have the resources to actually find what is mechanism. Mamuliti ka man sila pag hindi nila ginawa ang trabaho nila, sila yung bakit hindi iboto ng tao pag na panahon. And they have the resources to do that. DepEd does not. Iikutin ka pa barangay. Sa totoo lang, yung listahan ng nanggagaling sa DepEd. I was congressman for 9 years and I'm sure Mark was congressman too, or Ma'am Cynthia was congressman too at some time. Sa totoo lang, sinasubmit na listahan sa amin ng DepEd, ng superintendent, siguro 90% inaccurate. But I can't blame them because they don't have the resources to inspect and go to the power plant barangays, inspeksyonan kung ano talaga kailangan. They rely on the inputs given to them. And kung ang politika ng congressman tao lang, lalo na yung superintendent, kung sino yung malakas na principal, siya yung may bagong school building. And during my own house, Jesse was a former congressman too. Pag-ikot mo, yung bagong building, yung opisina ng principal. Yung mukhang kural ng baboy ng Marcos type, yun yung andun yung estudyante. So, we reallocated, but now that it's prohibited, that's a basic problem of DepEd. I don't even think they have the budget. So, yung EO ba yung ginagastos para kumikot?
Yes, sir.
Sino mong gagawa nun? Superintendent?
Yes, sir. Yung mga engineers ng DepEd, sir.
Central office?
Yes, sir. And we have engineers at the division level and the regional level,
Sir,
sir.
but 42,000 barangays,
That is correct, sir.
in approximately every barangay, you have a school, usually.
Yes, sir.
So you have 42,000 school sites, divided by how many? 400 engineers.
Yes, sir. We have about 1 engineer for every 1,000 schools, sir.
Schools. And about 1 engineer for
For
every
every
100 barangays.
Yes, sir. When it comes to project sites, at the moment we have 1 for every 50 project sites.
You need 800 engineers.
That's right, sir.
Constructing 1 school building for every barangay, at least, ang ganun naman yung spread and depth for every barangay, kailangan for every school site, kailangan Konti lang naman yung barangay sa poblasyon na walang school building, di ba? Nahiwalay na school site. They cannot do it, and that's principally the cause of the delay. And you're mentioning figures, Madam Chair. How much is the total school building budget for 2018? 100 what? If I remember correctly, 1, 2, 3.
106, sir. 106 billion.
106 billion.
Yes, sir.
That's where the share is coming from, actually. If you cannot implement it anyway, we'll make use of the fiscal space. Also for education, not for any other agency. If you cannot implement it. Especially given the directive of Secretary Jokner that the budget is only good for 1 year. If it's good for 2 years, I will agree with you. Let's give the entire budget to the PED and to the DPWH. They can implement it. But if it's good for 1 year only, I doubt that very much. And the objective, sir, is not to obligate. The objective is to spend the money within the year. Obligating is only one step, in fact, the first step in the process. Ang dami pa rin may iiwang pera. Sa 2018, hindi nyo ginasa ng 2017, binibigay nyo na noon, mobilization ko, 15% lang yun eh. So if you're talking of the 76 billion, yung magagamit lang nating pera for 2017 is only 15-20% of that, or approximately 14 billion. Yung fiscal space na nasayang, which is approximately 50 billion, if I'm being generous, sayang. According to the computation of Secretary Jokner, we need 51 billion for the free tertiary education. That often by itself, without carving out or subtracting from any agency, can fund the free tertiary education for next year. And pagpasa ng taxes, may pagkukunan ng para doon with taxing, babalik din tayo sa normal programming ng DepEd. That's where I'm coming from, sir. I want to maximize the fiscal space. If Secretary Jokner or Congress via joint resolution can extend the validity of the 2017 budget, at least for the school building program, then the DPWH can have more flexibility to move forward insofar as implementing it. Sa debate namin po ng Secretary Jokner, Secretary Dominguez, sabi nila, we intend to accelerate spending in the second semester. Secretary Villar knows that by now. The best time to do that actually during the first semester of the year. Never in the second semester of the year. You take advantage of the summer months para at least yung construction, walang klase. May araw, mas madali mag-implement. Vertical pa naman din to. Hindi ko ganun kadali mag-implement sa vertical eh, pag umulan na. Hence, the concern, Madam Chair, with respect to the fiscal space still. When they say, Madam Chair, they will obligate it by October 15, or the plan will be in by October 15. You need to buy out from the demanda. Assuming walang demanda,
26 days, assuming everything, including the posting, the public, publication, everything, the fastest 26 days, maybe,
but on average, how long does it usually take?
About a month, maybe a month, most.
Kung 26 days yung past, 4 days lang yung...
About 30, maybe.
Yes, ma'am, but that's obligation. Yes. Obligating it only.
To construct a school building, the 20 classroom school building, average amount is about 222 days. That's about a little more than 7 months. That's assuming the assumption of our rainy season. That's about the average. That's why I'm saying it's so critical for us. I mean, it's tight. I'm not saying it's hindi po madali. Medyo tight lang talaga yung schedule. Kaya kailangan masunod po yung schedule ng sinabit namin. Kasi based on our experience, yun yung kailangan gawin para at least significantly ma-implement yung mga school buildings.
So the rule is you have to obligate within the year.
Yes.
Hindi na mag-revert yung pera.
Yes.
But what I'm talking about, Madam Chair, is the actual money, the fiscal space.
Yes.
Na hindi yung madi-disburse this year. Next year pa yan eh. Stage billings yun eh.
Yes.
Before you arrived, we talked about the 196 billion from 2016 and this 76 billion they have, that they need to obligate, and they said that the DepEd requirements should be in within 3 weeks by October 15, after which you will have a month or two to go to the bidding, etc. That means October 15, let's say November 30, na-obligate na yon. Ideal world na yan, in an ideal world. Meaning by December, so you really start building the 76 plus 196, the 78 billion worth of classrooms by first quarter of next year. And that is the 2016 and 2017 classroom allocation budget. And they're asking for 43,000 classrooms budget in the NEP of DepEd. And my question, exactly with the same frame of mind to DepEd and SecVillar, DPWH, who's implementing the school building program. If we are having difficulty building the 78 billion worth of classrooms in the past 2 years, how are we going to grant DepEd with the 3,000 classrooms they're asking for in their 2018 budget?
Actually, Madam Chair, you said pwede naman mag-buy eh. Meaning, para makahabol lang, sorry, yung pass muna. Diba? Mahabol natin yung 2017, bigyan kayo ng tama lang for 2018 na talaga may implement within 2018 given the absorptive capacity issues. Remove a part of it, and later on we will intend to do that. Put it on free tertiary, para education pa rin, education for education. Parang absorptive capacity 100%. I read in an article, Madam Chair, that the problem also of DPWH is you have what, Secretary Mark, 613 billion next year?
Yes, that's correct.
613 billion, add to that the 106 billion, that's about 719 billion.
Yes.
The problem is not with the DPWH, Madam Chair, anymore insofar as bidding it out or supervising it. They have enough people. The problem is actually the absorptive capacity of the private contractors themselves. Nauubusan na tayo ng skilled labor para gawin yung mga project na kaliwatanan. Again, I just want to make use of the fiscal space.
No. Let's ask them how much they can build for 2018. And based on that, we will delete it from your 43,000 classrooms or 106 billion and put it elsewhere where it's needed, where it can be spent.
Sa akin, ma'am, sa free tertiary education niya, Secretary General is asking for 51 billion.
Yeah.
Without touching the budget of any other agency, just taking it from the school building program, that's about half, approximately, less than half. By next year, matapos naman naman yung new measure na
Before you answer, so the question we need to be answered is, hayaan mo na 2016 to 2017, sagot ng DPWH gagastusin. Yung 2018, between yourselves and the implementer, cut it yourselves, internal housekeeping. But before the answer, Senator Poe is requesting that her question be asked first because she has another hearing. So I give you the floor with the permission of Senator Cheese, your partner. May we ask you to speak now?
Okay. Anyway, this is in relation, Secretary, to the absorptive capacity of the DPWH. As you know, we've been interpolating on the emergency powers bill, and I know that you've been very supportive. Yusek Jimenez has been attending our technical working group. I would like Senator Recto, during our interpolation, suggested that it would be easier and more understandable also, and we can garner more support if perhaps the DPWH and also the DOTR list the projects that you would like covered under the emergency powers bill, so that it's not so much for so many things, and then we'll get creative in the middle of the implementation and add things. Whereas we need to be able to concentrate on those that are already never approved or those that are in the pipeline of being approved. So, Secretary, that's all I'm going to be asking today. And I'm not expecting to answer a list of the projects that you need. The LX connector road, which is already almost done, but you still have right-of-way issues. These things we will need to have in a list because supposedly during the time of President Ramos, the bill was only 3 pages long. So we're trying to make it short. and easier to understand. Would you be able to submit that to us by next week?
We'll with your office so that we can maybe craft a bill that is very helpful for our projects. We do need, it would help, certainly any legal, additional legal powers would always be helpful to us.
No, we don't need any more sample of the bill. We just need your project.
So we'll list projects.
Yeah, make it like a blanket list of projects.
Yes.
If you can remember, we have to be realistic. This will be over in 2019.
Yes.
That's the date of the 17th Congress. So realistically, put maybe your top 10, top 15 projects, your roads over, over Pasig River.
Yes.
Wala masyadong problema. But syempre, pag nag-unload yung mga yan. And totoo ba na yung NLEX, SLEX niyo, walang mga exits?
No, that's not true. That's incorrect. There are exits.
There are exits. Okay.
On and off ramps, yes. There's two bypasses for the Skyway SX. So of those two, there are exits. In fact, the SLEX connector has, I believe, 3 on and off ramps. So it's not one straight shot.
So hindi totoo na pag nasa Bulacan ka, ang next baba mo, pag na hindi totoo yan,
Hindi po. And that would not be in the best interest of the concessionaire also because that would limit their market.
Tatawa-tawa kayo ngayon, pero baka mamaya pagkatapos magbibintangan tayo. So, Secretary, ano yung 3 proyekto na pag natapos, mararamdaman natin agad ang ginhawa sa trapiko? So, NLEX.
If we're talking about Metro Manila Senator, we can finish by 2020. Skyway. Pasig. The harbor link is what would connect the connector, and the harbor link is scheduled to be finished the first quarter of next year.
Okay, so we top 4, right?
Yes. In the
Please include in the emergency powers proposal. Just
Yes.
wala yung mga particulars kasi we already did that. So, uulitin ko Skyway,
Laguna Lake Highway. Yes. The 12 bridges across Pasig River.
bridges. How many are those?
12.
Across Pasig
Pasig
River.
River, yes.
When will those finish?
So the feasibility studies are all done. So the first one we already did out. They'll start the civil in October. And the other 2 will be inaugurated when the Chinese give it to us as a donation from China.
Okay. Secretary, please have one of the USECs, maybe USEC Jimeno, coordinate with DOTR when you finalize that list.
Yes, ma'am.
When you submit it to us. Kasi, so, gano'n katagal ang bidding? Sabi ninyo, average 20-something days?
There is 26 days, but usually our average between 30 to 40 days.
Especially if it's a big ticket item,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Again, I'd like to stress hindi tayo kukuha ng pinakamurang contractor. Ang kukunin natin yung pinakamagaling.
Of course.
Yun yung papayagan natin sa alternative sources of
Yes.
napapayagan natin kung not necessarily the lowest
No.
but the best.
No. We make sure, ma'am, that the terms of reference are such that it doesn't give advantage to low bidding because these are very important projects and definitely we don't want this to be, we don't want to, just be careless about how we, or too, we don't want to split too much.
I don't believe you'll be careless.
Yes.
It's also our processes that limit us, kaya we're allowing companies, imagine yung MRT, pinayagan natin na i-maintain ng isang kumpanya na 600,000 lang ang pera, tapos 3.8 billion ang kanilang kontrata. So yung mga kalokohan na ganyan, Secretary, please, gumagawang terms para sa bidding, alisin na ninyo yan. They have to have a track record and they have to have the best capitalization.
Yes, ma'am. When it comes to, especially with foreign contractors, we are very, very vigilant and we're very, we want to be very careful about who we pick. That's why we are working closely with the Chinese government to make sure that even the Chinese government, they're very particular also. Chinese and Japanese government. At the same time, we do our due diligence, so even we personally go to the sites of those companies to make sure that the projects are implemented properly.
Yeah, it needs to be not best intention. Their intentions really for themselves.
Of course.
It is up to us to look after our goals. So, remember, China's also delivered a lot of substandard projects in the past, or the ones that didn't actually commence. I mean, or because of allegations of corruption. So let's be very careful.
Yes, we'll be very vigilant, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Secretary.
Thank you, ma'am.
Earlier this year, at the technical working group level, we already submitted a list of, but just to avoid confusion in case that list reaches your desk, it's not updated based on the guidelines you gave.
Sure po, madaming sa inyo eh.
So
Make
we're
it 15. 15 and include the top 5 that the Secretary mentioned.
We have a small we have a basket of projects that are scheduled to be finished in the halfway point of the term of our president, around 2020. So maybe that's what we can give to you. It's a shorter list, but at least these are the ones that we can expect to be finished in 3 years' time.
And I think one of my colleagues might lobby for the Bukidnon Airport. This is the Traffic and Congestion Crisis Act, not the pineapple and
We recognize Senator Meg Subiri.
Okay.
I'm sorry, just the one MPI Pacific, has it started?
Yes, of the right of people. Ongoing. And the right of
No. So it hasn't started?
the civil works, no. But I think the hard part is the opposition. It will be very fast to construct the section. So,
About 3.
the connector will be 2021, but we're hoping to finish it by 2020.
And that's the connector that will connect our ports, right? To the north and south. It's not the SMC alignment.
No. The FMC goes to Balintawak. This one will go to the Harbor Lake. So, Manila. Whereas the...
And then they will meet for 5 kilometers. And then break away again.
yes, yes.
Mag-offsetting na lang sila.
Yeah, there's a point where the Skyway will meet the connector. So...
And it's the connector of MVP, of MPIC, that will connect to our ports, right?
Yes, sir.
I believe if at all Manila and Pasay, of all the trucks na yung pupunta sa south, sa taas na.
Yes.
Pupunta sa north, sa taas na.
Yes. The projection is that the combined vehicular traffic that will be absorbed by these two projects is about 100,000 a day. So I think just on these projects alone, there will be a significant impact on the traffic and the...
Your question earlier was not yet answered. So,
Can they submit to us that suggested? But offhand, we're looking for 51 billion. Education for education too. Now, if you want a bigger budget, you think your absorptive capacity can already accommodate it, then ang pagkunan niyo po, Yusek, yung sa teachers niyo. You're hiring 81,000 teachers next year. Di ba? For a budget of approximately what? 24, 23 billion? And you will 181,000 times 9 months. Di ba? Times 14 months. But historically, you have never been able to, not you, I mean, DepEd has never been able to hire that many period. You don't even have 81,000 names right now, so they can all start by January. Your budget realistically now is 9 months. I was Secretary Jeff, no, why 9 months? Why not 10 months? Why not 8 months? Why not 6 months? But 9 months. The initial answer given to me by DBM was 9 months during school year. Sabi ko hindi o 10, no? Sabi ko kahit na 9 pa yun, kahit teacher, kahit na summer, kahit walang pasok. So it's... So you got the figure of 9 months because you yourself admit, in-average off nyo lang eh. You really cannot hire 81,000 beginning January 1. Pag-process pa lang ng papeles, when you entered DepEd, when you got your own employees, it took them what? 2 to 3 months to get all the clearances and approval, or more pa. That's why it's impossible to hire 81,000 teachers again. Again, as you need those teachers, hindi namin pinagkakaisa nyo, pero hindi nyo rin lang magagamit yung pera. Given the 1-year validity, that's the problem. Basically, you cannot be somewhere else. Today, mas hindi serious kaysa next year. Mas mura pa rin yan sa 2018 kaysa 2019. So instead of coming from us, na medyo arbitrary pa nga, come up with a more realistic, given your track record of hiring teachers and whatever improvements you may have implemented already to hire more teachers faster, para kayo na yung voluntarily magbawas. Na, di ba? Kesa kami magbabawas sa even if 51, out of your 6 will get, meaning, baka naman tawag nyo 60 billion, 70 billion.
That was the Caribrion. Second year, they will submit housekeeping of what they will cut, and these are measures and the 106 billion.
But I will follow you second principle that if it's from education, para naka Madam Chair, I have to take that up with my secretary official.
So it's best, yes, before this, what we hear from the DPWH, billion for the to obligate to build, apart from the 196.
Of the 20.
No, you're thinking, hopefully you will be able to obligate the 26
Yes,
and the
yes.
76
Yes.
2,008 classrooms. Will be backed up your practicality implementation. Anong kaya nyo sa
Well, I guess with regard, I'm confident despite like which is 770 your regular typical 25. That's that we have to find the way it's easy, but I think whether or not I don't want to comment on the DepEd's budget. They came up with that, and we're obliged to. It's our duty to finish all those projects on time. Whether we can do it realistically, it's never. There's always something that will crop up, or something that will the issues that will arise during the construction.
Are you saying that we leave it to the DepEd to decide on classroom funds, just what they believe?
I think we would be in the best position to really give us an update. Can also, I mean, we can obligate. I can say that with confidence that we can obligate it. When it comes to dispersing, it's also dependent on our collaboration with the DepEd. So if they feel that the timing of our collaboration can be perfect, and all our requirements can be met, then I would say that with a little more confidence. But if these timelines are not met, then we'll have difficulty finishing all the disbursement. The obligation is just a bit out in the wording, so we can award. I'm confident we can award, unless also dependent again on if we're able to receive all the information that we need on time. Then we can obligate. The disbursement, I think, it's hard to predict exactly how it will go, the exact disbursement. In general, we don't get 100% disbursement. That would be too optimistic, I think. So
we would just expect the input from the DepEd then, but just to remind the DPWH that you have 78 billion to construct, worth of
Yes.
classrooms to construct by first quarter next year.
yes,
Apart from whatever they come up with, whether they stick to the 106 billion that they initially put in the NEP, or they heed the advice of the chair of the Education Committee and the chair of the Finance Committee to half it to 50 billion, so that we can put the 50 billion to tertiary education.
Madam Chair, just to amend slightly the request of the chairperson, it's disbursement, not obligation.
Yes.
That's what we're interested
Yes,
in.
yes.
When we speak of fiscal space, we're talking and spend, not obligated. Again, pwede kami ba? Madam Chair, the DPWH is already very efficient when it comes to implementing their projects. Actually, I'm very confident that 613 won't be a problem. Ang problema, mabibilaw kan yung contractor eh. hindi yung ahensya yung mabibilukan yung contractor, hindi na kaya yung absorb your capacity ng contractors, number of skilled workers, etc., etc. But in a perfect world, you said, this is how the DPWH does it. Kinakausap na yung congressman, sinusunod yung program nila. You already have a program now, right, on school building, similar to what the DPWH has with respect to roads. So may ask tayo, already there, and all pre-bidding procedures, correct me if I'm wrong, Secretary, are being done this year.
We have to, that's what we want.
Short of award.
Short of award. That is what we're targeting.
So that in the first 2 weeks, very much like in the previous administration, which you had continued since you assumed. So in the first 2 weeks, maximum 3 weeks of January next year,
we can obligate, yes.
Ino-obligate, binibid out na yun. So if it takes them a month, by the first week of February, obligated na lahat yun, yung 613, except for the lump sums. 613. And then the rest of the summer months to implement it. Di ba?
Yes.
Ang dapat, may bibigay ng listahan in the middle of the year. May bidding procedure ka pa. So in a perfect world, you said, mag-buy man kayo. Meaning, mabawasan man natin yung budget ng school building program for 2018. We expect that for the budget of 2019, nakalisting na rin yung detalyado para magkaroon na rin ng pre-bidding procedure sort of award within 2018. Para in a perfect world, January, simula na rin kayo mag-obligate. Award na yun. In summer months to construct it. So kahit magbaba tayo ng konti for 2018, makahabol lang. Para handa na kayo sa listing nyo for 2019. And we have the money to do that. Given the new tax measures that will be implemented anyway. Sana yun yung maging target ng DepEd. Palaging 1 year ahead yung listing. Lahat na, kompleto na yun. Yung deed of donation, yung deed of sale, yung titulo, kasama na wala yun. That should be the target, Madam Chair, of our school building program. With the help, of course, of Yusek Pasqua and the DepEd family.
Madam Chair, Your Honor, if I may, that's what actually we are doing right now is to cope up with the preparations for 2018. In fact, already putting our milestone that September 30th of this year, we will already be submitting the list for joint validation this year. And for the start of procurement short award for the end of this year. We are coping up with that milestone because that was given to us by DPWH in order for 2018 to publicate it earlier in the year 2018. No? That's what we are doing now. But we could not cope up at the moment kung pinagsabay mo yung 2017. But we are doing the preparation also for 2018.
Kaya pwedeng mag-buy for 1 year, which should have been done a long time ago actually. Kung ginawa yun noon, this year, but it was never done before. But I guess we have to face it now. Is the only time to do it para makahabol.
Okay. We leave the subject matter, and we will be happy to receive the inputs of DepEd by Friday for your hearing. We schedule your hearing at 9 a.m. for the second hearing because we will finish DPWH hopefully by tonight.
Madam Chair, I also have to answer. So we're on DPWH. I just have 2 brief questions for DPWH, Madam Chair. First is with respect to the road board fund. Second is with respect to the allocations for this year. First, Madam Chair, on the road board. Speaker Alvarez is, ma'am, excuse na raw ba si Pasqua?
Yes, you said, please.
Ma'am,
maybe before he leaves for the DepEd, we're having a hearing on Monday. I'll bring this up also in the arm we uncovered through the help of Governor G. Atama, group in our a total of in the last 5 years 207,000 ghost students. Alam ko ghost sa election lang yung ghost voters, pati meron ghost students. So we have to take that up on Monday during our hearing. I do not know if ARM is under your jurisdiction of the Secretary, but anyway, we can get that answer by then. Because I want to see if it's the policy. According to Governor Hapaman, it's the policy of the principal sometimes to declare a large amount of students per school to get a bigger share of the budget of the DepEd for that particular area. Parang IRA daw. So we uncovered it this morning with Senator Ping Lacson, so we'd like to discuss that further on Monday. Maybe we can do homework on that as the DepEd.
So, initially, sir, the ghost student is a reality in DepEd. There's
currently, is it the way it's done, wherein the teachers or the principals will be the one to dictate the number of students, and therefore, just like the era, it is also dictated I mean, the formula for the budgets for these particular areas are dictated by the number of students. Is that correct?
There are many factors there in the computation of this full MOE, and enrollment is only one of them. But we have drastically reduced the inaccuracy in the computation of enrollment because we've instituted what we call the LIS, the Learner Information System, where we issue unique numbers for every student. So every student will have a learner reference number, and this with away the so-called ghost students for the past few years. It's rather helping us do the accurate databasing of the enrollment of the students, and this is also being implemented in DepEd.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
For the information of Senator Subiri, the ARM budget would already earmark the education budget there, so it would not come from DepEd. Yeah, okay.
Except not for the school building program.
But the
Yes.
students would come from the ARM budget?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Coming over to the question in relation to that, actually, Senator Ping din yung nagpatanggal ng ARMM budget ng DPWH. And as I understand, so my question, Madam Chair, is with respect to two funds for 2017. Ano nang ginawa dun sa pondong yun na nakahold for ARMM? Because the ARMM, Madam Chair, has a separate budget. That's the principle behind Senator Ping's objection at that time. May hiwalay na budget saan, laki-laki na binibigyan natin pera, but yung national agency gumagastos pa. So may na-apektuhan, I think about 8 billion, Secretary?
5. Well, the 8 billion, I believe, was transferred to educational.
8.3 was transferred to
education.
And then
There's approximately 5.342 billion that was left with us.
yes.
That's the, I guess, the questionable who's going to implementation the Senator. Yes. The requirement for us to spend that is that it has to go through the General Assembly of the RMM. In fact, we're meeting with them this week in order to include it in their Public Works Act. If it's included in the Public Works Act of the ARMM, we would have a legal basis to implement it.
Given the special provision inserted by Senator Lacson, right?
Yes. Actually, from a legal can give you a more specific legal.
The more specific question, Yusek Jimenez, at what stage are we in so far as obligating? We're not disbursing. Obligated.
It's an operational question. We are in the process of procuring the project so that once we receive the approval from once we receive the commitment from the General Assembly, then we'll be ready to implement immediately.
So these are specific projects.
Yes.
Actually, lagay nyo na lang sa Marawi. Kailangan pa naman mas mandun. Wala question dun eh.
Madam Chair, Senator Scudero, if you don't mind, let me interject because
Yes, please.
an advocacy of mine from the beginning, and we had a discussion yesterday about it with Minda Chair and ARM. Unfortunately, actually, Yusek Paya would know this because he was in the hearings together with Yusek Cabral. Secmark, the problem there is there's certain projects that are funded by National DPWH but can't be implemented because of the Organic Act. One of our colleagues, Senator Lacson, is very adamant about that. However, they cannot, let's call it spade a spade with all due respect to our brothers in ARM. The ARM DPWH regional office cannot handle these certain projects. For example, the river basin project, the flooding in Cotabato City, which is multiple number of provinces yan, which includes areas outside of ARM. And the bridges, the major bridges like the Tunggol Bridge, which was about to collapse. If we don't fix that, we make Maguindanao and City an island from the rest of Mindanao. May pondo na po sa inyo, hindi lang ma-implement, malapit na po mag-collapse yun, nawala na yung isang foundation of the right side. So, we appeal to the DPWH to work something out with the regional office, with the ARM and the Senator Lacson's office para matapos na ito. He's willing. The beauty of it is this morning, sabi niya, pwede natin pag-usapan to. program for mobility. I think these things can be discussed with the Senator and the Autonomous Region of Bus Mindanao.
Yes, actually, in fact, later on we'll be meeting with the Speaker of ARM. That bridge, the Tunggol Bridge, is included in these works. So the moment you get to implement these projects, is that it went through, it is included, as long as these projects are included in the public, that's the only requirement that we need to fulfill in order to preserve the legality of these projects. So once they pass the Public Works Act, so I hope that, unless I hope, well, I don't want to speculate, but I hope it's, once it's passed, then, in fact, right now we're ready to implement. If they give any reason do not want these projects implemented, so I'm banking on that. They'll give us their support in this, so we can implement these at the soonest.
I raise this, Madam Chair, also because of the rehab. Because national government has to step in, and time is of the essence here. If we delay like Yolanda, wala namang armed groups dun sa Yolanda area except for the nice people around. Ang problema natin dito, yung MILF, MMLF, and all other maute and extremists separate.
Senator May, and all were positive assembly that
The Public Works is to supplement the Public Works
and
Act.
then you can use those funds.
Because the organic laws, the legislative,
Yes.
that's the organic law.
Are we saying that in the 2018 there is no, I will or any in funds implemented by 9, 10, and 12 regions within
If we provide a legal framework, but what we are suggesting is that they download it to the ARM and the ARM to us. That is the most, that's the most, I guess, yeah, well, unless there's some, I'm not, it's a very complicated issue, but I think that the most defensible legal way to do it, given the understanding that because they don't have the capacity to implement, will give it to us to implement. That would be the most legally defensible process. I mean, I guess when we're doing the budget, that would be based on our legal. Would that be correct, you said?
Madam Chair, if I may, just to also give an update, I had a discussion with Senator Lacson earlier today before our committee hearing, and he's amenable to that arrangement as long as the list of projects in the Public Works Act of ARMM, and it will be at the discretion of the ARMM if they will delegate implementation of the projects to DPWH, but
PWH national.
of national,
Not
yes.
their own public works.
Yeah, and but the comment of Senator Lacson, I think, is that the governor of ARMM seems to be open to delegating as well to DPWH national. So we're at least optimistic that we can implement including those that were included in DPWH's budget for 2017.
The 5 billion is a DPWH budget for 2017, and that addresses the concern of the flooding and the dilapidated or deteriorated.
Yes, it's a assorted basket of
And
projects that includes the concerns of Senator Subiri.
Okay.
Yes.
And it's a matter of, so as long as we follow the process and they pass it in one day, then it's legislated. Then
Yes.
they can spend it, but they don't have the capacity to spend it on their own. Then they will go into a memorandum of agreement
Yes.
with you so that you, DPWH National, executes it, correct?
Yes, that would
That's the
fulfill
understanding?
Yes, that would fulfill the requirements of the organic law of
So
ARM.
maybe they can also request, since you're already talking to the ARM, to include with the approval of the Marawi rehab. They should come up with a special approved, I guess, room, the ARM,
Yes.
Marawi rehab. Because kayo po ang mag-implement nun, I think, national.
Yes, the national will implement, and we can get funds directly from the NDRMC, and there will really be a fund set aside for the.
May we understand how will that be implemented? Through the same process, the legislature of the ARM would have to pass every.
What they can do, Madam Chair,
maybe what they can
Ano niyo yun? Yung Marawi Rehabilitation.
That's actually what they were planning initially for the rehabilitation. Is we are the planning. A lot of it will be engineering brigade. Will be conducted by the engineering brigade, which they're upgrading. Yes. Yeah. So. But I think
Engineering brigade of the armed forces,
Yes.
that's still national government. It's still the same whether it's DPWH regions 9, 10, or 12, or AFP engineering brigade, that's national government, and plaint of would
that will there be an executive order to the
maybe the executive
Marawi.
order will be the
yeah, and that would be the basis for implementing. Anyway, I think the situation there is very unique, and because it's under martial law, I think an executive order would be enough to. I'm not a lawyer, from my understanding, that would be sufficient.
It won't. The only difference in martial law is that he can call out the armed forces, but there's no additional powers given to him.
But I suppose if it's well.
Madam Chair, maybe we can also check if it's covered by the DRRM Act in terms of the rehabilitation. But if not, I think Senator Zubiri suggesting might be helpful that they have their legislation. He's delegating to the national government with respect to Marawi rehabilitation.
Madam Chair, I agree with Yusek Jimeno. If you will get the money from the NDRIM fund, yes, it will be an exception. Hindi papasok yung objection ni Senator Lacson. No, the reason behind the objection of Senator Lacson, his position has been very clear about pork barrel. And it's basically an objection on pork by the armed congressmen. Kasi may armed budget na sila. That's the root of it all. That's where the objection actually came from. If it will be obtained from the NDRIM fund, kayang-kayang gawin ng national government, no EO even required. But for this particular fund, Senator Zubiri, it may sound simple, but they haven't been able to do it for the past. The special provision has been very clear from day one. It's been over 9 months, and however simple it may seem, as he said, simple resolution, di pa nilang nagagawa din. Diba? So the question is, how confident are we that it won't take this long again to secure that resolution or consent?
That's why we recommend that it's downloaded to the ARM, and the ARM they should delegate it, I mean, with an understanding. Well, I don't know if that would be, how difficult that would be, but I think ideally, in an ideal world, they would give it to the ARM, and the ARM would delegate the information to us, owing to the fact that they probably don't have the capability to implement. That's our suggestion.
I'm so excited to see the House version insofar as this is concerned. Are you familiar with the House version, what they approved on this? Wala pa silang version?
We haven't even started with the budget. So are your questions addressed?
Just my last question, Madam Chair. That actually just 2 points. That one and the road board fund.
Road board.
Secretary Zokno issued a release given the corruption allegations in the road board and the reservation of Speaker Alvarez that he intends to abolish it, and the Senate quite frankly consider lang sa National Treasury ito under the budget of DPWH, but you're still 12 billion? We're talking of 12 billion this year. What happened? Muna sa balak niya sa 2018. This is off budget, Madam Chair, because it's earned it.
Yes.
It just so happens that the Secretary sits chair.
Yeah, as long as the law creating the road board still exists, we'll.
Because
It's a law.
it's just baffling because I have a letter from the Executive Director of the Road Board informing the Legislative Liaison H that the Road Board is now under the supervision of the Office of the President. And so that baffles me. We are asking the DPWH to explain the use of the MVUC funds when an alleged transfer made. So I'm asking Secretary Villar whether he knows this and whether you're still part of the road board or still chairing, even if it is under the OP.
I'm still chairman of the road board. It's in the law. I think that there's nothing that can.
Madam Chair.
I'm not exactly.
This letter?
I'm not so.
I'm not even. Signed by the Executive Director of the road board. He should be here.
Can we?
It's just confusing me. Oo
Actually, Madam Chair, it's not.
That's why,
Madam Chair.
could I ask on this? Because I am furnished with a letter from the road board executive director, who is your DPWH liaison officer, legislative liaison officer, furnishing the Committee on Finance, like advising us that the road board is no longer under DPWH but under the OP. So can this letter supersede the law?
No. I think that maybe it's just an opinion. I would consider it more of an opinion. But I don't think it would be. I don't think it's in the nature of an executive order or even so.
Definitely not. It's simply a
I'm not
letter.
yeah, I don't
Maybe
think
it is
there's
their
any.
wish.
Perhaps
But
an
really,
opinion.
they should be abolished. And it baffles me why Congress is taking so long in abolishing such a corrupt agency. And I am one with Speaker, and it's really irritating because the agency not use the funds anyway of the road board. DOTR, we just finished their hearing last week, and there's 8 billion unused funds. We should just abolish the corrupt road board. I do not care if it is enacted by law. So corrupt in both forms. So wherever agency they belong, whether it's DPWH or OP, please, may we request whoever is the chair, sino bang nito? Many bills have been filed. The Speaker has spoken out, the President has spoken out, and we in unison are speaking out. The corrupt agency has to be abolished, and there should be a one-fund concept, and even Secretary Jotno agrees. I'm sorry, I don't even know these characters.
Where is
I'm
it?
not saying that they're thieves. What I'm saying is that that is the general perception. I'm just irritated because
I apologize,
these letters from executive directors think that they can supersede the law. Can you ask if any of you feel that the board is assumed the hearing of DPWH? Where are they hiding?
I was under the in a meeting in Malacanang.
No.
Madam Chair, may I make a motion?
Yes.
Do they have a budget here with us in the because
No,
of the
internally generated. That's why. Whoever authored the law is not such. It's not so smart after all.
Human rights.
There is no budget. It's very clear. It budget. That's why they can be arrogant and not come to our hearing. But I am asking Secretary Villar and the liaison office who delivered this letter to me just now to bring the road board here, and I want to know what is the history of this letter telling us in the face of the secretary that they're no longer under him. And in every hearing where there is a fund of the road board, the DOTR, 8 billion, now they're telling us it's all under Malacanang and we're not supposed to look into that. Of course we can look into it. It's under the Office of the President, so I will hear the Office of the President budget again, since MVC. So maski saan sila magtago, kaya ko silang hanapin. Kaya please, papuntahin nyo sila dito.
Yes, ma'am. And
I was so cool
instruct
earlier.
them,
Madam Chair, if I can clarify, is Clavano the executive director of
yes.
same head ng road board?
Yes, but he's in charge of the day-to-day operations.
Same pumalit kay Dodi? None.
Yes.
Escalona.
Escalona.
Yes, Escalona. Kedot.
Ng alas 5.
Madam Chair, it's a letter signed by Clavano saying, addressed to the DPWH, saying that they're now under the Office of the President. Clearly, umiiwas lang yung Madam Chair sa budgetary deliberations, but the law is clear.
We're asking
The
them.
chairperson is Secretary President. DPWH is under the supervision of the President. This actually...
And did was Secretary Mark consulted about this? Did you know about this letter?
We've had a meeting with the road board where we discussed, but the letter itself, I wasn't apprised of the... but I don't think it can be, from what I understand, I don't think you can supersede any... I don't think it's any... I don't know the person... I haven't read the letter yet, but I would assume that it's in the nature of an opinion and not...
No, it's a letter addressed to liaison office Kajoy, saying that it's now under the P. And that for budgetary purposes, it should be scheduled that way.
Not maybe...
That's basically what he's saying. Can you give the Secretary a copy of the letter? But ma'am, if I may, because I have to transfer the link, can I ask the board fund for 2017?
Like I said, as long as there's no... If it's abolished, then of course we defer to the wisdom of the... but as long as the law is still there, we are compelled to...
No, sir. Secretary Jokno issued the press release, I read it in the papers, that he will not release it anymore.
Yes, that's what he said. Actually, that's what he said. I'm just saying, the existence of the road board will continue as long as the law is in existence. But the decision about whether or not to release the funds, that's the prerogative of the road board, which includes myself, Secretary Jokno, Secretary Dominguez, Secretary Tugade. So, based on our last meeting, we decided not to release the funds until there was a decision on what would become of the road board. Or we release some funds, not all of them. But
I raised that issue because, again, speaking of fiscal space pa rin, doon pa rin ako. Kung hindi nagagastos yung 12 billion this year, you have another 12 billion next year. So for this year, we can spend we can obligate the 12 billion. Mag-augment ng items sa budget through savings, through realignment, so you can fund a portion of it chargeable to the 2017 budget. And for next year, kung hindi pa rin maprobahan, you hold nyo ulit. You still have that fiscal space all over again na may pwedeng pagkunan o pag-chargean, relieving a total of 24 billion in the proposed budget of DPWH for 2018, or adding 24 billion on top of it. Because I understand, Secretary, actually, inutil na ang road board. Dati kasi ang programa ng DPWH, pag sinabing kalye-kalye, doon kumita ng malaki road board sa road sign, sa katay, di ba? Pintura. Doon naman malaki kita. But now, I understand, when you program the construction of a road, kasama na lahat, di ba? Pintura ng kalye, road sign, gano'n ka lang.
Yes,
so, nandun naman namin, di ba? So, might as well, if at all, abolish it and make use of a fiscal space of 24 billion. Again, 12 this year, and then 12 again next year. Whether we abolish it or not, it won't be released anymore. It will take time to abolish it. It will take time. But that's still additional fiscal space, which I believe the department can easily obligate and implement, if at all.
Yes, you make a very good case. You make a very good and compelling case and analysis.
See? And, Madam Chair, one last point. Ma'am, makinig ka para uminit lalo ulo mo. No, if the road board is a corrupt agency, hindi naman pwedeng may krimen pero walang kriminal.
Eh bakit wala?
My point, Congress will abolish it because it is corrupt. If that is the reason behind it, then it cannot stop with mere abolition. Cases should be filed. Unless the reason is for efficiency, for administration, then fine. But if the reason for abolishing it, if at all, as the chairperson has mentioned, is corruption, then cases should be forthcoming after the abolition of the road board. If at all, indeed, that will be used as the basis for abolishing the road board. I submit. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Senator.
Yes. So first, just to summarize what is the official start of the budget hearing, the DepEd commitment for Friday, they will do their own internal housekeeping to trim down 106 billion to possibly 50 plus, 196 and 76 billion together, obligated requirements by October 2015, obligated until November 30, implemented December And then second, the 5 billion for 2017, it will be legislated for the ARM region, and it will be implemented to address the concerns of Senator Zubiri on the bridge and the flooded areas. Third, the Marawi rehabilitation will be funded through the same process so that we don't violate the spirit of the Organic Act. Fourth, we request the road board, hiding under the skirt of the Office of the President, to come here by 5 or 5:30 when we resume our debt hearing at DPWH, because insofar as DPWH is concerned, Secretary Villar, you are not familiar with this movement in the executive. It is still under you until we see a DOJ opinion or some executive of the President transferring the road board to directly under his office and not under your office. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So clear.
It's clear.
May we now start with your budget? Thank you.
My question, because mine is full support with the DPWH. I think this is the most important agency now for the Build program together with the DOTR. They need all the help that they can get, and transferring the money of the road board to the DPWH earmarked for these projects would be the best, I think, news that we can hear yet for the agency. But just two quick questions, just to go in line with what Senator Grace, I was going to ask that earlier, but we went to other topics. You're also putting up, I heard one time, you in the other room, Senator Lacson is chairing the committee on accounts on the move of the Senate to either Antipolo or BGC. At pinakita kanina dyan ni Chairman Vince Dizon o the BCDA plan connect the BCDA go back to extension. Kasi extends all the way to sa South Point na pinakita niya, yung BGC South Point.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I think what they're talking about is we are currently in the works. We are currently for an extension of the NAIA Expressway that would connect you to BGC. Conducting the design. So what will happen is we have budgeted this year the widening of Loton, right? So from 4 to 6 lanes. From NAIA Expressway, we found an alignment that where you can straight to Loton. And because of the widened Loton, the congestion there is usually in Sales when you're trying to cross south sa SLEX. Very congested. But once you get past the SLEX bridge, maluwag na. So our plan is to have a new AX that will bypass that SLEX bridge, take you straight to Loton, which is already ongoing. The widening of Loton is a project that is ongoing. So that would give us a direct link from NAIA to BGC. So the Magallanes will be decongested if that, and we're trying to start that by next year.
With the DepEd on right-of-way issues, I think lalabas yata, DepEd yata yung may compound showing us earlier. But anyway, you're building that, it's okay.
Yes.
As long as it gets to the skyway.
Yes, and I think there's on the we call Monica well see power Guadalupe. So that would also serve to decongest EDSA. Already awarded, and we will start construction next month.
And then lastly, Madam Chair, yung remember one time I texted you about the Nasugbu highway, South Superhighway to Nasugbu bypass road, bypassing.
Yes, actually,
because the traffic in that area is horrendous.
Yes.
I was just there again yesterday, and it was just horrendous.
Two things. There is a unsolicited proposal from the MP group, Cavite, but that's already from them that we're in the process of evaluation. But